Alright, so yesterday in the community post, I said that we would go back to Madden franchise. We're going to put that on pause, go next Friday with that. Because today we got some bowl games that we got to talk about. Because tomorrow officially starts bowl season. There are about 5 or 6 games tomorrow. And then throughout the week, there are some games as well. And then, of course, Saturday the 23rd is really the big day for bowl games, as well as Saturday or Monday, January 1st as well. We're going to talk about all of these bowl games and more. But first, if you guys aren't in the channel, obviously be sure to drop a like and subscribe so you guys don't miss out on any of the latest videos. Really quickly, wanted to give my thoughts on last night's game. It was terrible. You guys watched it. The Raiders absolutely blew out the Los Angeles Chargers. It was like 63-21. And as a result of that, Monday morning or Friday morning, the Chargers have officially fired Brandon Staley. I think it was a matter of time until they did that. Number one, because he's known to blow games in the past. They also fired their general manager as well. So, very important and big news coming from the NFL, as well as quarterback Robbie Ashford has entered the transfer portal for the Auburn Tigers as well. He is gone. Thank you, Robbie Ashford, for everything that you did for Auburn. War Eagle, we wish you luck, obviously. All of that good stuff as well. But regardless, just wanted to give my thoughts on number one, the breaking news of Brandon Staley being fired, and then say so long to Robbie Ashford within this intro. But, however, let's go ahead and hop into some bowl games as we got a lot of games to talk about. Alright, so the first game on Saturday, December 16th. This is officially bowl season tomorrow. So, Saturday, December 16th, the first game is Georgia Southern taking on Ohio. I've got Georgia Southern here. It's technically an away game, but it's also in South Carolina as well. Georgia Southern, I expect some of their fans to be there. Not a lot. I don't know much about these two teams, but I think Georgia Southern's the better team here as well. But I would not be shocked if Ohio kept it close. Give me Georgia Southern here, though, in the Myrtle Beach Bowl. Moving along, you got the Cricket Celebration Bowl, and this is Howard taking on Florida A&M. I'm going Florida A&M here. I don't know much about these schools either. Congratulations on making a bowl game, though. Give me the Florida A&M. I don't even know what their mascot is, but I think they're the better team if I'm not mistaken, so I'll take them here at home. Moving on, you got Jacksonville State and Louisiana in the New Orleans Carriers Bowl as well. This game's going to be actually a pretty good game. I know a couple things about these two schools. Number one, Jacksonville State, they've been a really good sleeper team in the state of Alabama recently as well. However, Louisiana, the Raging Cajuns, if you guys did not see, just hired Spanish Fort's old coach before Blackman was at Spanish Fort. So, I'm expecting big things out of them next year. However, I think they're going to win this game. I think they're the better team as well. I wouldn't be shocked if Jacksonville State kept it close. I just think with Louisiana's Sunbelt offense that they've been putting up all year, they should be able to easily win this game. I'm going to take Louisiana, the Raging Cajuns, in the Sunbelt to get the Sunbelt's second win in bowl season. Moving on, you got the Mexico Cure Bowl, Miami of Ohio versus App State. Don't know anything about these two teams. I'll take App State here. Nothing to talk about. Let's move on. Moving on, you got the New Mexico Bowl, the Izelta New Mexico Bowl between New Mexico State versus Fresno State. New Mexico State obviously coming off, they beat Auburn this year as well. They beat their first ever Power 5 program in program history. They also came in second in their Conference USA Championship game as well. Fresno State, don't really know anything about this school, so I'm going New Mexico State here as I really like New Mexico State's quarterback and their running back. Both players are really good players. Would not be shocked if they enter the transfer portal as well. However, give me New Mexico State here in the New Mexico Bowl. Let's move on. Moving on, you got the LA Bowl. This is between UCLA taking on Boise State, still on Saturday. I'm going UCLA here. I know Boise State's actually really good this year as well, but I like UCLA. They compete in a better division, of course, the Pac-12. This is going to be at SoFi Stadium, so this is going to be a really good game to watch. However, I'm taking UCLA here on the road in in LA. It's a home game pretty much for UCLA. Their fans will show up. They're actually pretty good this year. Give me UCLA here. Moving on, you got the final game on Saturday, December 23rd. Texas Tech versus Cal. This game's going to be really, really good, and I cannot wait to watch these two offenses to see how they shake up against each other's defenses as well. I'm taking Texas Tech here. I think Texas Tech is going to win this game. I know Cal has played a lot better recently ever since they lost to Auburn as well. However, I'm taking Texas Tech here. I think they're the better team. They have a more explosive offense. Their defense is pretty good. All around, they're just the better team. I'm taking them here. Moving on, you got the Monday, December 18th game, I guess you would say. 2:30 p.m., Western Kentucky, Old Dominion. Old Dominion, I'm taking them here. They're the better team. Let's move on. All right, moving on to the next game. This is UTSA and Marshall. I'm going to take Marshall here. I don't really know, again, anything about these two teams, so let's move on to the next bowl game. Moving on, you got South Florida versus Syracuse. And if South Florida's offense has been coming along like I've heard it's been coming along, they'll win this game, but I'm going to take Syracuse here just because I don't know much about USF as well. However, Syracuse plays in the ACC. They should be fine. They should get the win here in a bowl game, but you never know with bowl season. Moving on, you got a game on Friday, December 22nd. Georgia Tech taking on UCF. I really don't know who to pick here because Georgia Tech almost beat Georgia, and of course UCF did beat Oklahoma, so I'm going with UCF here. I like Gus Malzahn here and the Knights in this one. Georgia Tech, they've been struggling all year except for that Georgia game. I don't know what clicked with them. However, I'm taking UCF here with the Knights. Basically a home game in Tampa, Florida. Give me UCF. Moving on to Saturday, December 23rd. There are some really good games here on this day. The first one, though, is Troy versus Duke in the Birmingham Bowl. I'm taking Duke here. Riley Leonard is not going to play, I don't think, for Duke, but I still like them as well. They lost Mike Elko as well. Troy's been hot recently. Still taking the better team here in the ACC. Give me Duke. And thank God that Auburn is not playing in the Birmingham Bowl again. Give me the Duke Blue Devils. Moving on, we'll go ahead and pick two games as well. Arkansas State, Northern Illinois. I'll take Arkansas State here out of the Sun Belt. Don't really know too much about them. And then, of course, James Madison versus Air Force. James Madison is really, really good this year. So I'm going to take James Madison here against Air Force. Don't know too much about Air Force. I know they're also good, so it should be a good bowl game. Now, the next one, though, is Georgia State versus Utah State. I'll take Georgia State, the Panthers here. Give me them as well. Let's move on to the next game, which I will talk about and go in depth on. All right, moving on, you got the bowl game that I will be attending. I think I'm going to two. I think I'm going to go to Auburn's. Don't know yet for sure, but I'm definitely going to this one. This is South Alabama hosting Eastern Michigan. This is going to be a really good game between two 6-6 teams. I'm expecting South to win, though. I'm expecting their fans to show up, be loud. South's offense has been really, really good. I know Colin Lacey just entered the transfer portal, so that's a bummer for South, but I still like their quarterback. Their quarterback's really good. He's mobile. He can run the ball as well. Don't know too much about Eastern Michigan, though, so I will take South Alabama here at home against Eastern Michigan. Kind of crazy that they're playing at home, though. Let's move on. Moving on, this will be a really good game. This is a sleeper game for me in a bowl game. Give me Utah and Northwestern. This is going to be really good because both teams are actually halfway decent this year. I'm taking Utah, though, on the road, I guess you would say, in Las Vegas. Give me Utah here. And then, of course, the last game, which is Coastal Carolina at San Jose State. I'm taking Coastal Carolina here. You guys know the drill. I'm rolling with the teams I know with. Let's go on to the next game. Moving on, you got three games. Bowling Green versus Minnesota. Give me Minnesota on Tuesday. Texas State versus Rice. Give me Texas State. I like TJ Finley here in the Bobcats. They've been playing pretty good all year. TJ Finley, after transferring to Auburn, has been playing red hot recently all year long. Been putting up great numbers for Texas State. So give me Texas State Bobcats. And then, of course, the final game on Tuesday. Kansas taking on UNLV. Give me Kansas here. They've been flat out the better team all year. So give me the Kansas Jayhawks here in football for real. Give me Kansas. Moving on, 4 games on Wednesday, December 27th. Virginia Tech taking on Tulane. I'm going Tulane here. That's the big upset of the bowl season for me. Tulane has been a really good team all year, and Virginia Tech kind of struggling. But I'm not sure, though. Give me Tulane here. And then the next game, of course, is North Carolina taking on West Virginia. I'm taking North Carolina here. I think they're the flat-out better team. Louisville versus USC, though. This is going to be a really, really good game. Louisville's offense struggled in that ACC championship game, number 1. USC, kind of been a down year for them. They lost a few games as well. Caleb Williams looks to not be playing in the bowl game, so I'm going to take the Louisville Cardinals here against USC. And then, of course, the final game on Wednesday, the first SEC team to play in a bowl game, Texas A&M versus Oklahoma State. This is going to be a really good game. I believe this was the same matchup last year, if I'm not mistaken. However, I'm taking the Aggies here. They fired Jimbo Fisher. I'm interested to see how they'll roll as well. But I'm going to retract that and take Oklahoma State here as well. So, really good game here. Keep an eye on a few of these games on Wednesday, December 27th. Moving on, 4 games on Thursday. Number 1 is SMU, Boston College. I'll take Boston College here. Number 2, Rutgers and Miami. This is going to be a really good game, but I'm going to take the Miami Hurricanes on this one. I will be a Miami fan next year, and we'll explain that to you next year as well. But NC State versus Kansas State, I'm going with NC State here on the road. I think this will be a really good game as well. Then Arizona, Oklahoma. Honestly, don't know who to pick in this one. This is going to be a really, really good game from the Alamo Dome in San Antonio. I guess give me Oklahoma because I know a little bit more about them, and they're joining the SEC next year, so this will be their Big 12 salute. However, taking Oklahoma here as they leave out the Big 12 with a bang. Give me Oklahoma Sooners. Moving on, 4 games on Friday. The Tax Slayer Gator Bowl is between Clemson and Kentucky. This is going to be a really good game as well. However, Clemson is ranked, so I'm going to go with Clemson here. I like their offense. Their offense has been struggling a lot. Kentucky's kind of been picking up the pace, though, throughout the end of the year and mid-season as well. They just got a lot of transfers as well. So next year, Kentucky is going to be a sleeper team to watch in the SEC. But for now, I'll take Clemson here as well. The Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl as well. Oregon State versus Notre Dame. I'm taking Oregon State and DJ Ugongale. Not sure if he's going to play, though, as he announced he is transferring as well. But the final game, AutoZone Liberty Bowl, Memphis versus Iowa State. And I'm going to take Iowa State here as well. Not sure about these 3 teams, though. Let's move on to Saturday, December 30th, as there are a couple good games on. Moving on to the next bowl games on Saturday, December 30th. 2 games on that day. The first one being Auburn taking on Maryland. I'm going to go with the Auburn Tigers here. I'm not sure, though, as our offense has been struggling all year. But if they play like they played against Bama in the Iron Bowl, then they should win this game. Maryland, obviously, Tua's little brother plays for Maryland. If you guys don't know who that is, Talia Tagovailoa does play for Maryland. He leads their team in yards or something. He leads a crazy record. However, I'm going to go with Auburn's defense here. DJ James getting a Senior Bowl invite. Keontae Scott getting one, as well as Asante, I believe, getting one as well. So, we got a few players in the Senior Bowl, but I'm expecting the Auburn defense and the Auburn offense to show up here on Saturday, December 30th. Moving on to the next game, though, is Toledo versus Wyoming. Don't know anything about these 2 schools. Guess I'm taking Toledo here because I don't know much about Wyoming. Moving on to Monday, January 1st. We'll get into the semifinals in a second. However, there are 2 games, though, that are not semifinals. The first one is Wisconsin taking on LSU. The first one, I'm going LSU here. They should be able to blow out Wisconsin. Jayden Daniels, one of the Heisman. I like them here. The next one, though, is Iowa taking on Tennessee. I'm going to go with the Tennessee Volunteers as well. I like the SEC schools in this one. But there are also New Year's 6 bowl games that we got to get into, so let's go ahead and move on to those, and then, of course, we'll talk about the semifinals in a second. Moving on, you got the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic on Friday, December 29th. Missouri taking on Ohio State. This is going to be a really, really good game as well. I'm expecting both offenses to be powerful. Not a lot of defensive in this game. I think this game is going to be a shootout, but I'm going to take Missouri here to upset the Ohio State Buckeyes. Now, the next one, though, is on Saturday, December 30th, and that is Ole Miss taking on Penn State. This is going to be a great game as well, but I'm going to Ole Miss here. Penn State's offense hasn't really been able to put up good amount of numbers against really good teams that they've played. For example, Ohio State, for example, Michigan. They haven't been able to put up points against these really good teams. So give me the Ole Miss Rebels here on the road in this one in Atlanta. The next one, though, Capital One Orange Bowl, Georgia versus Florida State. Give me Florida State here. they're going to be mad about not making the college football playoff, as well as Georgia's transfer unit has been gone. They're not really going to play all of their starters, I believe. So I'm taking Florida State here in this one. And then, of course, the final one is Oregon going up against Liberty. I like Oregon here as well. This should be a breeze for Bo Nix and the Oregon Ducks. So give me Oregon. Just to recap, though, Missouri, Ole Miss, Florida State, and Oregon all getting New Year's Six bowl wins. Now, let's talk about the big ones. All right, here we go. The moment you've all been waiting for. Let me know if you stick around towards the end of this video as well. Number 4, Alabama. Number 1, Michigan in the Rose Bowl. This game's going to be flat out really good. But I'm going Crimson Tide. I think it's all scripted for Alabama to win the national championship game. But Michigan's offense has not looked good all year except for that Ohio State game and the Big Ten championship game where they played a nobody school. So, when they play good teams, not sure what it is. I think Alabama and the SEC will handle this one. Give me the Alabama Crimson Tide in this one. Now, of course, the CFP semifinal at the All-State Sugar Bowl is Texas, Washington. I think Texas is going to win, and I think we'll get our rematch in the national championship game where it will be Alabama Crimson Tide winning the national championship, and Saban will retire at the end of the year. Alright, that is going to be all for today's video. Let me know what you thought of it in the comments down below. Kind of a long one. There are a lot of bowl games to get to. We had to get to all of them because tomorrow bowl season starts as well. So, let me know what you thought of the video in the comments down below. Do you think, like my prediction for the college football playoff, do you agree with them? Do you think it's all scripted for Alabama to win the national championship? I think I do as well. However, that's where I'm going to end the video. Thank you all so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.